here. Why the am I seeing people praising all these people dying, all these towns gone? Because they think it's sundown towns.
Are you online celebrating the destruction of Appalachia because you think that it's just a bunch of sundown towns?
I just don't understand why people are talking like this and going on like this. This is disgusting behavior, and you should be ashamed of yourself. It's disgusting.
Recently, there has been some backlash surrounding how Black communities have chosen to remember those who lost their lives and properties during the Hurricane Helene, particularly in places like Sundown towns, which has a dark history of race, violence, and segregation. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My good name is Gracey D, your African diva. I hope you guys are doing well. So yeah, Black community had this to say to Black communities that if you watched my previous video, you understand what's going on. Black community came ahead and they were saying what their thoughts and what their opinions were about the Hurricane Helene in Sundown towns, and white people were not happy about this, and they had this to say. Let's watch this video together and then we'll come back to it. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and like this video, comment and share. So let's jump right ahead to today's video.
Did y'all hear about them sundown towns that just got swept away in the hurricane?
It seemed like that storm hit a bunch of sundown towns. I don't know, you tell me, y'all tell me, but it seemed like a lot of the places where it hit, and it didn't even hit none of the places it was really supposed to hit the hardest. It hit a bunch of the sundown towns up there in North Carolina.
Uncle Wolfie here. Why the seeing people praising all these people dying, all these towns gone? Because they think it's sundown towns. I am an anthropology major, and I am going to spend the next few years proving that these sundown towns do not work in the capacity that they used to. I am from Vidor, Texas. I lived there, grew up there, still have family there. Here's their logo. And I have every different shade of wheat in my family. Prepare to see a book in a few years, because this pisses me off. These towns are not like they were 40 years ago whatsoever. I was 10 minutes down the road from Jasper, Texas when that man got dragged down the road. These are just Americans at this point. Most of those people who were super and overly racist have died off. These are just Americans. Stop saying dumb shit! Uncle Wolfie out.
Are you online celebrating the destruction of Appalachia because you think that it's just a bunch of sundown towns? Are you aware that there is a Cherokee nation in those mountains? There are Black Americans in those mountains. There are Latino Americans in those mountains. If you don't believe me, go look up the list of who lost their lives at Impact Plastics in Tennessee. It shouldn't matter. I shouldn't have to be pointing out the minorities to you. Your heart should break. These are your countrymen, for God's sake. I'm stunned. I'm floored. What you're participating in is not leftist. It's not a leftist ideology ideal. What you're participating in is classist, ableist bullshit. And an insane prejudice towards the South, because you've been conditioned to believe that you are so much better, and you are not.
Listen here, buddy. Asheville is 2,000 feet above sea level and 300 miles away from the nearest coastline. There were about 15 inches of rain expected, over 30 end result. People were given evacuation orders if they lived in the floodplain areas. I did not know my mother was alive until like 4 days after the flooding stopped. My brother did not live in the floodplain area either. He lost pretty much everything he owns. His apartment is gone, essentially. Also, even if the evacuation order was given and people followed it, the houses are still destroyed. Entire towns are still gone. What now? What point are you trying to make? The fact that anyone is attempting to justify this by talking about how ignorant and backwards people of North Carolina and Appalachia are is super ironic, because you're only highlighting your own ignorance of not only the demographics of the people that live here, but also the history of the region and the geography of the region. What frame of reference do you think these people had? Nothing like this has ever happened. There's been flash floods pretty often, but nothing of this magnitude, okay? Entire towns are wiped off the map. They have to airlift everything in because you cannot drive on the roads. My light just went out. Just like the light is going to go out in your eyes if you talk about my dang hometown again, buddy. I'm going to knock them out.
I'm sitting in my house that has not had power for 4 days, and you come on my page and say something like that. Appalachia is arguably one of the most racially diverse areas in the country. My friend group growing up was comprised of poor white trash, Native Americans, Mexicans, other Hispanic people, African Americans. Hell, we even had a Melungeon friend who was a mix of all three. For us people living in Appalachia, it's never been about race, it's been about class. And Appalachia is very much so a working class area. There's not a lot of economic opportunities out here, and most of all of us are poor. And to say that we were underprepared is an understatement. And for you to go and say something as cruel and as mean as that we deserve this, honey, you ought to do some real soul searching, some inner reflection on that, because that is just mean, cruel, and unnecessary. Absolutely hateful. Hateful, hateful, hateful.
Did y'all hear about them sundown towns that just got swept away in the hurricane? Well,
Yeah, we heard about them. And lots of people died in those, lost their homes, lost everything. And businesses, and they're struggling, and pets are missing, and people are missing. And you're disgusting. Very, very disgusting. I just don't understand why people are talking like this and going on like this. This is disgusting behavior, and you should be ashamed of yourself. It's disgusting. It's nasty behavior. People should not act like this. Grow up. God did not pick these people to send a hurricane to hurt. I have friends down there. Luckily, they're okay, but you people are just absolutely disgusting that are talking this way. Have the day you deserve.
I'm so y'all. Every single motherfucker. I can't believe how many people are making videos like this. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. And when I say y'all, I mean black, white, or otherwise. Anybody who would have this kind of take during something so catastrophic happening. People have lost their lives, loved ones. Children have died. There's hundreds of people still missing and unaccounted for. And y'all want to use it for a gotcha moment and claim they're all motherfucking sundown towns, and that they somehow, like, trying to insinuate that they brought it on themselves. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Never have I ever wanted to be able to have the ability to go through a telephone as much as I do today. You.
Every day I get on this app and I'm shocked at all the hate in this world. Evidently, this girl's from California. One of the most beautiful states in the world. Well, was, okay, by the way. Now it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Okay. They've let that place go to hell. Okay. But to sit there and say some of the garbage some of these people are saying, the hate in their heart, really. Because when it comes down to it, we are all Americans. We are all humans. We are all born the same way, with red blood running through our veins. You know? There are radicals on both sides. One side wants to kill children all the way up until birth. Okay? There are people like that on that side. It's disgusting. They want to literally children. And then the other side doesn't think it's okay to take a 10-year-old girl who has been raped by a grown man. They think it's okay for her to have a child. That's not okay. Okay? So, stop, people. There's radicals on both sides. Okay? But there's good people on both sides. And both sides live in these places. Why? Why are we doing this to each other? There's people dying. They have no food, no water, no electricity. Who gives two craps which side they're on? I don't. I do not care. I don't care. Because I know that both sides have crazy people on them. Both sides. Okay? I know that. But I don't care. They're Americans and they were born with red blood running through them. Just like I was. I don't care if they're purple with pink polka dots. If they were born and raised in America, they're one of my kind. And I want to help them. And so should you. Like, everybody pinning everybody against each other. Stop watching the news, first of all. Because they are one-sided. They're going to pin you against the other side. Everybody needs to wake the fuck up. Wake up. Like, you have to have two sides because there has to be a happy medium. Otherwise, the radicals will ruin it. And they are. You're letting them. We have got to work together. Joe Biden literally got on TV yesterday and said he was not going to help these people. Okay? And that's the reality of that. But they just gave Ukraine another freaking $1 billion, people. Our people are dying. And they're from both sides. Who cares? Can we just help them? Like, nobody else is going to? God.
Hey, yo, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Yeah, my guy. You're 100% wrong. For several reasons. Countless people's lives have been lost. So many more missing and unaccounted for. There's people out here scared shitless because they can't find their loved ones and don't even know if they're still alive or if they're okay. People's entire livelihoods gone. Homes, everything they owned, gone. And y'all want to make this shit about politics and race. Okay. I can't understand for the life of me the amount of ugly that some of y'all have. And not that it matters, but most of those places are very left-leaning. You might want to do your homework next time you open your mouth to make something to post this ignorant. May God have mercy on y'all.
Where do you get your information? I mean, who is saying these things to you that you actually believe this stuff? There's no such thing as a sundown town in North Carolina. There's no such thing as a sundown town in Tennessee. Sundown towns were strictly a Texas thing, all right, an Arizona thing. So maybe out west you see things like that, but you don't see things like that in the East. I'm sorry. I don't know where you got this information from, but please educate yourself. Have a good day.
I could be wrong, but I got a certified North Carolinian.
You're wrong, and I want to call cap on your friend being from North Carolina. You see, I've been there. I traveled to a good portion of these here United States when I was a carny. That's right! Step up, step in, a bona fide circus folk who are right before your eyes. I have seen the best and the worst of each group of people that this country has to offer, and while I do not deny that there are places in this country to this day that are not so welcoming to outsiders, I promise you, it's not coming from where you think it would be. From my perspective, most of the intolerance comes from the northern states, okay? I have stories. Come back sometime. I'll tell you a few. Here's the thing. Appalachia. mountains, right? Settled by German and Scottish folks, a whole bunch of indigenous folks, and some black folks, right? Put their cultures together and they created something good, right? And you celebrating the loss of potential few intolerant folks while simultaneously forgetting about the loss of so many others, I just, see color, right? Celebrate the differences that we have, because we are a nation made up of many, right? But I'm convinced that some of you, color is all you see. We the people means all, friend. We the people means all. Have fun.
Yeah, guys, that is what most people from the white community had to say. But I have this question: should Americans be focused on healing and forgetting the past and moving forward? But then again, that is a question that I've been asking myself, because, seeing this, especially with this Hurricane Helene and what both communities had to say to each other, it's quite sad. I'm not even lying, it's sad. But then at the same time, it's sad because I feel like one side is a bit hypocritical, especially when this woman said that I see everyone as an American. We are all Americans. And it's sad that America, for so many years, have been facing race issues, racial violence. It's just the other day, not even long ago, that a man by Marcellus Williams was deleted or unalived for a crime that they said he didn't commit. And in as much as Black community would want to be good or would want to work along with the white community, you all have to come together, especially for the white folks. It's only good if the white community can join the Black community for the fight that they've been fighting, a fight for equality, And if you all come together and if you, the white community, join the Black community in fighting this, then trust me, there will be nothing separating you guys. There will be no fight of race. There will be no issues when it comes to the medical field, whereby actually just saw an article whereby a percentage of Black women that go through C-section or that go through CS when they're giving birth, it's quite high, just so that the hospitals can make more money. Of course, it's not cheap, but why is it that the Black percentage of women that have to go through CS is actually way higher than the other community? And, so much more. Why is it that in prison, there are so many Black people in prison compared to the pound-colored people? There's so much. Why is it that when Black people for this long, they've been fighting, especially when you started having issues of illegal immigrants, whereby some of these illegal immigrants, most of the neighborhoods that they're going to stay, or most of the states they're coming, is the states where you find most Black people. Some of them even end up being, evacuated, like leaving their place, because some of these states have a law, a rule that if you just go to a house and it's empty, maybe the owner is not there at some point, the illegal immigrant can just come in and live there. So many times I've seen Black people fighting this online, but it hasn't gotten to a point where you all, as this woman was saying, we are all Americans and we all having red blood running through our veins. First, it's not about the blood right now. First, it's not about you being Americans. First, what you have to do is to fight this race. That's the fight that has been dividing you guys for long. What you have to do is to fight for equality for every American citizen to be treated equally. But if you cannot do that, then most of these things, as people, if you watch the last episode and if you watched so many of other videos on TikTok or other platforms that people are talking about, the Black people are telling the white folks, these are the issues we've been facing for years. These are the things that we've been going through for years. Like there was another hurricane, was it in 2005 or 2015? I think it's 2005. And most people that were affected was actually a big part of Black community. And yes, I feel so, my heart pains and my mind and heart goes to those that lost their lives, and the ones that lost their loved ones, and also those that have lost their properties. But speaking from an honest, my point of view is that if you're gonna fight for equality when the issue is the big percent of issues that you're having is affecting just one side, then it's never gonna work. But if you all can come together, like now everyone is complaining, especially the white folks, I've seen most of them, they're complaining and saying, look at what our government is doing. They've been sending aids to Israel, they've been sending aids to Palestine, they've been sending aids to each and every other country that's facing issues. But now that America is facing issue, the president has not yet agreed to give aid to these people that are facing all these people that have to start life from a start, these people that have lost everything in a country that these people, the same people that do pay tax, you know. I've seen all what Donald Trump has done is to create a GoFundMe where people have actually raised a lot of money, and that people are willing, as American citizens, are willing to help each other. But, you know, for you to be able to fight your government, and this goes to each and every other country out there, if you cannot all fight for equal rights, you'll never be able to fight or come together when you guys are facing issues that you need to face the government. No, it will never happen, because first of all, you're divided. Divided, they win. Together, we conquer. So you have to fight this race issue that you're facing as a country. You have to understand that that black person is just as an American citizen as you are as a white person. That white person is just as an American citizen as you are as a black person, you know. There are so many things that happened in the past. And not only in the past, I just got surprised to learn that Sundown towns still do exist. And I got surprised to learn that there are places that black people cannot step their foot in. I got surprised that there are still stores that black people walk, having white people follow them around so that they do not steal. You know, surprised that there are some restaurants where you'll be treated badly because you are of my color. You know, it has to start from the small things, from those things that you don't see as issues. It has to start from you fighting the police from not stopping black people when they're driving on the road because of their color. It has to stop by you fighting, like for many others that are like Masenda Williams, who are in prison, that have not done things or that didn't commit the crime, as allegedly it's being said that he was free, he was innocent. It has to start from the small issues. If those small issues to you, they don't seem like anything, or they don't seem like they're hurting the people, the black community, then it will never be the same. Then they will never come to an agreement with you that it's okay now, we can now come together because this issue is facing all of us. No, it doesn't work like that. It's just like in a relationship. For example, you're in a relationship with your partner and your partner doesn't like this and you don't like this. If you don't compromise yourself for your relationship to work, then it's not gonna work. Then you just have to end up breaking up and everything else. But the same as what's happening in America, like with the black community and the white community. If you cannot compromise what you think, I should be getting this and I should be living in this neighborhood, of course, because I'm a pan person, I'm a pan-colored person, I should be living in this neighborhood, you know. I should be going to this restaurant and be served first because I'm a pan-colored person. Of which some people will come here and say that it does not happen like that. Please, I've seen videos online. I've seen people being recorded doing these things. I've seen a person who came to, like, wanted to attack a man that was just in his business doing work. And they used the N-word on the person, and the person had not done even anything. So as soon as you start calling out each other, as soon as you start calling your people for doing what you can see, and you're standing there seeing them doing that, then there will be peace between these two communities. But if you can just gonna sit there and watch bad thing being done to a person of my color just because they're not of your color, and just because you feel like it doesn't concern you, then when issues like this come, when you all need to hold hands and help each other, it's never gonna work. Yeah, guys, so that's what's been trending actually in the States of America. I hope everything is gonna be solved, and I hope that people that have lost their properties, they can be able to start again. And you know, the people have been mentioning God a lot on these issues, but honestly, what I can say, I don't know, there's also been so much conspiracy about these hurricanes, and I want you to tell me what you think about this video. I want you to tell me what you know about what's been happening in the States, especially concerning the hurricanes. And guys, this is gonna be the end of this episode, and until the next episode, bye.